In this video today, I'm going to share with you my 4 biggest money lessons, and I hope that you can have some wonderful takeaways from my journey around money. If you don't know me yet, my name is Mar Hausler. I'm an ex-financials trader. I used to work in the City of London, and in about 2 years, I made over 100 million of profit for the bank. Very young, but also questioned the system, completely burnt out, and then went on a spiritual journey between India and Brazil, living in intentional communities, ashrams, volunteering in service, and did a master's in regenerative economics at Schumacher College, which completely shifted my view around money. So I've really, you could say, lived the whole money cycle on the ups and downs around from wanting to money to rejecting money. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the 4 major lessons that I've learned around money. And I hope that these can give you some insights around your relationship to money and what you can shift for yourself. When I started out my career as a financials trader, I was really in it for the money. For me, money meant freedom. It meant I could do what I wanted to do when I wanted to do it. And I was working long hours, 18-hour days sometimes, to really maximize the money I could make. I was trading for the bank, having a highly successful career with the head of the trading floor coming up to me every day asking me about my opinions about the market. And all this money was coming in, but yet I wasn't happy. I was traveling every weekend, really like the Wolf of Wall Street, living that life as a woman, which was absolutely incredible. But on a deeper layer, I was very unhappy. I felt empty inside, unfulfilled, and there was something yearning for a larger reason in my life. Through small incidences and things that happened, I decided to leave the financial industry. I had a sabbatical, and after doing that, I couldn't go back. It was a huge life-changing, transformational decision because all of a sudden I saw the power of time. I was making so much money in the building, but I didn't have time. I didn't have time to eat lunch, to go out. I was really pushing myself because it was all about profit maximizing. So I did this whole bounce effect from one side of living in the city, working for money, really maximizing, wanting as much cash as I can get, to the other side, which was my second lesson of the spiritual journey. I rejected money. I rejected anything material. I lived in spiritual communities. I had a guru in India. I shaved my head for the first time, offered it to the Ganga. I really gave myself to it. I was living in devotional communities. For part of that time, I also lived in an intentional community where, as part of my thesis at Schumacher College, I created a community currency. That whole cycle of rejecting money, I met so many people with purpose, but without money, with what they wanted to do in the world, but no means to grasp the material world. So I went through a cycle of really rejecting money after having made all of this money and thinking that spirituality had nothing to do with money. I stayed, meditated for days, really gave up everything, ran a retreat house, wanting people to get to enlightenment. And I remember the teacher saying, the energy that you're putting into finance to make money, you're just putting it into the spiritual path to try and seek enlightenment. That's also not the right way. So having rejected money, from wanting money for freedom to rejecting money completely in my life, I then understood through doing my thesis at Schumacher College the thread of my work. And this is where it was really born, to understanding our relationship to money, to making peace with money, to understanding what money truly is, to living in a community, creating their own community currency, rewriting my story with money, my understanding with money, but also how we relate to it as a society, as a community, as a whole. And for me, that really brought the two into marriage, which was doing work I love to do, really aligning with my purpose, which came very true, and really staying focused in the work that I wanted to put out in the world. And this is where I felt like my gifts were born from within. I realized that my work was with money, with women especially understanding money, their relationship to money, how they could build their own paths, their own entrepreneurial paths, solopreneur paths, to really putting their message out in the world. Because everyone is unique and everyone has their own voice, their own experiences that can touch one other to transform their lives. And that's where this wish came from, deeply within myself. And I realized that after having been in the corporate world, and yes, I will say I learned a lot. I learned structure, I learned teamwork, I learned dedication. I had to deliver on time. I had to be there. I was so motivated. I could bring that with me because it was a training. And when you start the entrepreneurial journey, when you start your solopreneurship journey, it's you being accountable to yourself. It's you waking up, you motivating yourself, you reaching the deadlines that you set yourself. There's no one there to hold you accountable. So I almost feel like it's like a shift in the understanding of growing up. So yes, you have the corporate world, you have your family, you have the things holding you. This is for me that kind of structural holding, let's say, and then you break out with your own gifts. You can be a content creator, a teacher, yoga, coach, whatever it is, but putting your gifts into the world through therapies, anything that really speaks to you. I've helped women create businesses where they create altars, but what comes beneath it, and this is what so many ask me, is that dedication, it's that belief, it's that North Star, it's that constant focus, because it's you with yourself alone putting your gift out there and having that drive to make that happen, making the structures, the rhythms that allow you to make it possible. And of course, also the financial baseline, because I feel like finances are the baseline to all the decisions we can make in our lives. Luckily for my spiritual journey, I had the money that I'd made in finance to really get me through that time. In finance, I worked for money. On the spiritual journey, I completely rejected money. I found my purpose and I started my entrepreneurial journey, really as a solopreneur, putting my work into the world, really making money from my gifts. Fourth kind of part of this is investing money, is making money work for you, is really understanding the ins and outs of money, understanding what your life goals are, where you want to go, how you can make money work for you. So we're not swapping time for money anymore, but something much larger where money is working with itself to grow more money. It's when you can put your investment strategy in place. It's when you can start building your steps towards financial freedom. It's really taking those mini steps to build up, to get there, to liberate your life from the 9-to-5 culture, from the corporate culture, from the needing more. It's not about more. It's about deciding what life you want to live and making that happen. It's not about seeing the glass half full or half empty. For me, it's about pouring your own glass and making that decision. And I feel that's where it's come to. It's like, okay, I'm going to invest the money to decide where I want to go with my life. And it can start with a very small amount. It can start with 20 to 50 euros a month to really start that cycle going. But it's another mindset to it, moving from working to really engaging to building businesses. And so I would say I really went through these different cycles around money, from making a ton of money in finance to rejecting money completely and then investing and allowing that money to work for me, to then move towards financial freedom in my life. And financial freedom means something completely different to everyone. So it doesn't mean it's just for you because you're on that path towards financial freedom. You need to get to X amount of money that everyone else is speaking about. It really depends on what that is to you, for you to define it for yourself. Now, having gone through this whole journey myself, and also I've coached thousands of people on it, the idea here is that I want to invite you to look at where you are in the money cycle and where you find yourself as to what you want to do. There's no right or wrong way to go about money. There's no way you should live, amount you should hit, targets you should have, how society is telling you to live, how much time you should work or not. That's not the point here. The point is to find that from within you, to then heal your relationship with money, your stories of money that can allow you to liberate what that means to you to live financially free in a healthy money cycle. And just to kind of bring it all together, I would say a healthy money cycle for me really is doing work you love to do from your purpose, earning money from that work that you love to do, really receiving for it. Because when you are doing work that you love to do, it doesn't feel like you're working. You feel like you're not even putting energy out into the world because you're overflowing. It like keeps coming, like ideas, it's like you're full of feist for life and wanting to go for it. And that's where we want to get to. Once the money is flowing through that, you can start investing it into ways where it can circulate back to you so that you don't have to swap your time for money anymore, but you can really build out streams of income that then allow you to grow your money and to live with choices that you want to make around your life. I hope my money story really just inspires you on your path towards financial freedom, towards understanding your relationship to money, and these lessons that I've brought, which is number one, working for money didn't make me happy. Number two, rejecting money also didn't make me happy, sitting in meditation and thinking I could reach enlightenment through that. The third one is that you need dedication for your solopreneurship journey, for your entrepreneurial journey, if that's starting businesses or different things, putting your energy out there and really believing that you have your gift and that North Star to follow. And finally, the fourth one is make money work for you. Invest your money, make sure that it is growing for you so that you can take care of your financial future and move towards financial freedom. I hope this inspires you in some ways. If at all, please share the video, like the channel, and I hope that we can share more of our journey together and I can inspire you maybe in a little way on your path towards financial freedom and in some ways healing your relationship to money.